Hey, what's going on, YouTube? How you guys doing? Sorry it took me so long to be joining back in with you guys. Today is Saturday morning, almost 6 o'clock a.m. Of course, you see me guys where I'm always at work. I kind of got attitude because I'm supposed to do a 12-hour shift today, 7 to 7 later. Now, this is not considering the shift that I'm doing now, but later on tonight. Finally, get a call. I get a 15-minute break, so I come back, and my supervisor that's on staff tonight tells me that they called. So I call the office. The young lady that's supposed to relieve me in the morning, which here within the next 2 hours, called off. So I don't have a relief. So in this business, either you walk and you lose your job, or you pretty much asked out, excuse my language. I am pretty much forced to stay here until I get a relief. Now, how unfair is that? It is crazy how people not only consider it. I mean, things happen in people's life. Absolutely, I get it. I'm a mother. Stuff happens in my life. I might get sick. Like tonight, yesterday, me getting here for tonight's shift, my son had a very bad nosebleed, and I was unable to get him or take him to the emergency room. So someone was like, "Well, you know what? I take him. Just give me his information." And I'm like, "Well, maybe it'll stop." It eventually did stop, and I'm like, "Well, if push comes to shove, I get information. You can take him." You see my choices? I had to make a decision whether I need to keep my job so that I don't become homeless or be in a bad situation where my kids or me put in a bad situation just to keep my job or to take my son to the hospital. Now my priorities are to take my son to the hospital. This job ain't that deep. But how can you ever between the two when you are your only source of income? Me, my only source of income. I don't get any help. So if I'm not working, there's no money, there's no financial anything. No, there's no government assistance over here, okay? So I'm like livid at this point because who said I want to be here? I work 11 to 7 tonight. I just did an 8-hour shift. Now I'm going to do 11 to 7, 7, quote unquote. She said she's going to try to get me out here by 11. So that's additional 4 hours. That's 12 hours. But technically, 9 out of 10, I'm going to be here to 7 to 3. How many hours is that? Almost 16 hours. I feel some type of way. And then got to come back in here Saturday night from 11 to 7. I have multiple sclerosis. I know I haven't talked about that subject, how I found out, and I will do a storyline about that. But I suffer from that. So I am always, in my case, it attacks my nervous system, my damage. One day my eye might twitch real bad. I'm always in excruciating pain, especially in my lower abdomen, my legs, especially my back, my hands. I'm always swole. Like now I'm swole. Like you can see the little dents. I'm swole. I'm always swole. My legs are like chicken thighs. Legs. I'm always swollen. So the job, now don't get me wrong, the job that I'm doing is not difficult. I mean, anybody can do the job that I'm doing. It's not a lot of like strenuous on my body as much unless it can become overwhelming. What I mean by that is me doing tours. I do tours. And depending on how many hours I'm here, I have to do at least 2, 3 tours. So me doing a 12-hour shift, I would end up doing 2 tours. Me doing an 16-hour shift, that means that would be 4 tours. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. 1 tour, that's just gonna be that. But it's very, very difficult to be put in a situation where you're stuck having to make a decision whether you want to keep your job so that you don't become homeless, or you keep your job so you don't lose your car. You know, I pay the car note, I got car insurance, gas and electric. You know, like these are necessary needs to survive, to make sure that things go afloat so that you can get what you need done in a daily life. You know what I mean? And then when you're put in a situation, unfortunately, a situation to where your back is against the wall, and unfortunately you're not even able to make a decision at this point because your back is against the wall. Like unfortunately at this particular time, my back is against the wall, you know, so I'm pretty much going to be stuck here. Now I'm not tripping on being stuck here for a couple of hours until they get somebody. I like to work. I'm not lazy, so I don't mind that. But the fact that it's inconvenience, you know, I am hurting. I've been sitting standing and sitting and standing, sitting and standing, because of my in your legs. For those who don't know, in your legs on the top and on the bottom, your main arteries run between the top and the bottom. You sit, you put pressure on your arteries, and it can go numb. Which I know you people all over, you guys probably felt you tingling because there's no blood flow. You need to move, and for me, I can't sit for a long period of time. My legs swell. I can't stand for a period of time. My legs swell. Whatever I do, I can't. The only thing that helps, even sometimes elevating it swells me up. I don't get it. I'm still learning different things. Stuff springs on me. Stuff happens. I go to the hospital. I get a doctor's appointment. I learn new stuff daily with this diagnosis. But I'm learning to live with it. I know other people that went from normality to worse within months or even years, because there is no cure for multiple sclerosis. There's no cure. There's no, all you doing is pretty much medicating the situation but never finding a solution. And I wish there could be something that we can actually find what not only just caused multiple, but why there's no solution to solving it. It's kind of like a cancer. You know what I mean? There's no solution to cancer. Either you take radiation or chemo, and that's another story I'm gonna talk about my thyroid cancer. But yeah, so you just take it. There's no there's I'm taking medication. I don't. Hope my doctor don't come across his YouTube channel. But I personally, at some point, stopped taking some of my medication. Why? Because either I'm zoopy. Zoopy meaning I'm out of it. I'm not coherent. I'm just trying to, the pain is so intense. I'm just trying to. My pain tolerance is high, but it's uncomfortable. So I'm taking my meds so that I can be comfortable, and that times alter my ability to be able to function normally. And say if I was to take all my pills like the doctors prescribes, not that it's going to get any better, and do that, I wouldn't have a job. I would have to be I wouldn't say put in a nursing home, but that would be the next case, because guess what? My kids will be gone. I can't support my children. So this city would come take my kids. Don't have family, that will get my children. My own mother is in a nursing home. My biological father is in a situation, so they couldn't get my children. Maybe my younger brother. Now I'm the second oldest, and I have little brothers. I have a little brother. One, two, three, four. It's a lot of them. I have a lot of little brothers. So but they're in their 20s. One is in his 30s. So my thing is, no, 12 of them are in their 30s now, I believe. So they can try to, not all of them, get their nieces and nephews. You know what I'm saying? But really, now that's put them in an awkward position, because now their life has to be on hold because of my situation. That's unfair again. You know what I mean? We just can't. Things happen in life to where we are uncontrolled. We don't have control, and that goes without saying. That happens every day. I get that. From in my cases, I really feel some type of way, because it feels like I can't win for losing. You know what I mean? I really can't win for losing in this situation. You think you're on the right path. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're providing for your family. You're working. You making all the right calls. You're not out here acting a fool. You're not out here causing unnecessary bad attention. And yet it seems like there's no light at the tunnel at the end of the day. And that's how I feel. I actually was sitting here going through YouTube here a second ago on my laptop, just watching, just scrolling through, and I was just seeing so much stuff that was going on here. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude and look away from the camera, but I was just watching so much stuff on here, and I was even watching something about TD Jakes on here, and I was thinking about writing him a nice little letter, because it's crazy how things are set up. It's crazy. I personally feel, sorry about that noise. I personally feel that it's crazy how, we have us people in general, not even a gender, not even a culture wise, not even race, where you come from, just period. We are everyone. I know at least 85% of the people that I've known growing up always had an idea of what they want to be, and how they want their life. Me personally, I wanted to be a cop. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a homicide detective. That's what I wanted to be. Before that, I wanted to be a lawyer, because I know how to talk. And my mom said, "You would make a good lawyer," but I didn't know. I didn't think that I was smart enough. So being a cop and a homicide detective was the next best thing for me. Even though I did not fulfill that, but that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be the wife, the mother, the sister, the aunt, the go-to chick. And I became the wife, the mother, the go-to chick. It just didn't stay that way. I'm not married. I'm divorced, and I have 5 beautiful children, 4 out of my marriage, 1 before my marriage, and I'm still the go-to. I have an older sister. I have an older sister, and we're pretty cool, but we're not close like that. I call her, she calls me here and there. And we cool, we cordial though. That's my sister. I love her to life. I could talk about it, but you can't. Type of situation. You feel what I'm saying? That's just how I roll. But anyway, I'm just to the point where I was gonna sit and write him a letter, or just write him a dialogue, because we have a system of how we think our life's supposed to go, and once they don't go that way, it seems like we lose a sense of self, in the process. Not that we don't gain it back, because I've gained it back over the years, but then we come to a point where we doing the church, we doing everything, quote unquote, as what they say, or as what the words say we supposed to do, as far as how we supposed to live and how we supposed to raise our children and all that other good stuff. And then yet nothing happens, but we get more on top of other stuff. Now, I never said, now I'm a firm believer that, just because you follow in Christ don't mean your life ain't gonna be full of hell. That's a red flag that your life is about to be some hell. And that's just how I personally feel. A lot of people might not agree with me, and that's fine. Everyone has their own opinion, but that's just been my reality. You know what I'm saying? My life was perfectly fine until I decided to get my life right and go on the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? I thought that my life was functional, but like I believe I said in a previous vlog, that I was functioning dysfunction. That's exactly that's as clear as day. I was functioning in dysfunction. It was so dysfunction that I thought I was okay. That, what I'm saying? Your normal won't be as though it's depressing, because that's been your normal. So how would you know that you're depressed if that's all you know, until someone decides to come and say, you know what you're going through is not okay, and show you something different. You're like, oh my God, I've been depressed. I didn't know that about myself, but you've been living in it for years. You never recognized the dysfunction in the middle. And that was me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I roll with the punches. That's always been me. I roll with the flow of the air. If it go left, and go left. If it go right, I fit in where I get in. I adapt to any situation. And yeah, that's probably, quote unquote, as I'm sitting here thinking, a mechanism to keep oneself safe, my heart, my emotions, shelter myself, even to a certain extent. But yeah, it's just crazy how we plan our lives, and we go down the road, some good, some bad, because it's gonna go like this. It's not gonna go like this. It's gonna go like this, because that's how you learn. You cannot have bad days and think you're just gonna always have good days. Good days come because you done had a bad day. That's how you recognize that you have a good day. You know what I'm saying? And good days come because you recognize that you've had a bad day. That's just how it's gonna go. But the fact that life goes like this, which is okay, the thing of it is when is it gonna not go like that? Have you ever asked yourself when it's not gonna go like that? For me, I ask myself all the time, like, Angel, when am I gonna see the light of the tunnel? Like the light at the end of the tunnel. When will I see that? When will I be able to say, okay, I'm okay with how things are? Not saying that I'm gonna get comfortable, because once you finally say, okay, financially, I'm gonna use that as an example, because most people want to be financially stable. I definitely want to be financially stable. So say I'm financially stable. Not that I need to be rich, because I've never been a person that I just got to be filthy rich. I want to be able to be established and stable enough to where I can never not have to think about my bills getting disconnected, or my car being taken away because I didn't pay my car note, or my insurance lapsing because I didn't have enough money, or my kids' life insurance policy, whatever the case may be. I want to be stable to where I know my bills are going to get paid, and I'm still able to go out and do things for my children, but being respectful and accountable, not just being foolishness with it. You know what I mean? But anyways, not to get off topic, but just, following the waves to get when is it going to get better for me? Like, when is it going to get better financially? So say I conquer being financial stable, it's going to be something else. It's going to be either relationships. If that's conquer, it's going to be, mixed emotions. If that's conquered, it's going to be something else. It's never nothing not going to happen or occur in life. Why? Because it's just, I call it dispensations of our lives. I know we talk about dispensations as far as aspect of the world and what happened back then and this time and this time. But I think that happens in our own lives as well, because we have a time of, going through the cycle over and over again, but just on a different level. I might be able to defeat fornication. I might have an issue with fornication. Now I'm not fornicating anymore, but now I'm on a different level. So I'm able to beat them demons on that level. But now I have to go to a different dimension and fight the same battle, but in a different type of way. But it's still the same fight in a different form. You know what I'm saying? To see where you at, that builds character, that builds humility, that builds self-identity. To see how strong you are. I believe this lady that I look up to so much. She goes to my church. I'm just gonna say her name is Mary. I'm not gonna put her whole name out there, but her name is Mary. And she had posted up on Instagram. She and it was a great statement. It was like a little post, and she said, I never knew nobody that had an easy pass. I never knew a strong person with an easy pass, and that's real. Who do you know that had an easy pass? That's a strong person. What make us strong is our past, because it was hard. I know it's some people say that's a cliche. What don't hurt you, what don't kill you, make you stronger. That is true, but doesn't mean that it kills us on the physical. What about the spiritual? What about the emotional? What about the overwhelming kill? Everybody think about the physical kill or the wear and tear on the one individual body. But what about self-esteem? What about intellect? For the first time this year, which I haven't told nobody, which I don't think I'm gonna say right now. I'm just gonna say a little bit. I'm gonna say this part. I was able to come close to where I see how people lose their minds, because I've experienced it. And absolutely, it's definitely spiritual and natural. My spiritual father always say, if it's not practical, it's not spiritual. I truly believe that. God is not all deep as people make him seem. He's simple. You just got to read between the lines. He's not going to make it that difficult for you not to understand it. It's simple. So that's how I feel. Now the phone's going to ring. This is Angel speaking. How may I help you? I'm good. How are you? Yes, ma'am. So I don't have to stay over and I just come in 7 to 7. Okay, so another question. The 7 that I'm doing is going to be for First Financial from 7 to 11, and then I'm going to do PNC 11 to 7, right? Because I'm normally a PNC from 11 to 7. So I figure, I didn't read the email. I got to go back and read the email probably, but I believe it was picking up from 7 to 7. Okay, that'll work. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. That was great news. So I don't say, I have a relief coming at 7 o'clock to relieve me so I can go home and get in my bed and sleep at least for 4 or 5 hours. Get up, try to have life, get in the shower, and then come back and do a 7 to 7. So that's great. But anyways, back to what I was saying. It's hard, man. It really is hard. How we set out for our destination, and when we don't meet our destination, some of us give up. Some of us have nervous breakdowns. Some of us go through a midlife crisis. Some of us lose our rabbit mind. Some of us just say, you know what, I'm gonna just do whatever just to get ends meet. And I know a few people like this, grown men and women. This in the particular person, I'm not gonna say their name, but it's a man. I know he ain't young, and he just couldn't understand my mind, my thinking. I don't think he understands my capability and where I want to be and where I'm trying to go. And you need to live between your means. I said, listen, I work hard for what I want. Not that I have everything, because I don't. God knows I'm struggling. There's always going to be a struggle. But here's the thing. The conversation was brought up because I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I pay my car off. My car be paid off hopefully by next year. I drove for $5,000 income tax time. Cool. Then I'm gonna trade it in and give me 2007. Why would you do that? You just paid it off. Why would I not? Well, what are you trying to do? I said, well, I'm building my credit. Well, would you act like you need to buy mansions? I said, no. If something was to happen to me, God forbid, I want to leave something for my children that I own. Okay, something that they can say, well, this is a home mom established for us, and she left it behind for us to now maintain, so we can also do the same for their children and their children. Why don't we think like that anymore? Why don't we think about leaving our children things? People die, parents die, children get killed, whatever the case may be, and there's nothing for the family. There's nothing left behind. There's no, like back then there were legacies. I remember my godparent, well, my sister was Christian, for those who were in church. She had godparents, and me and my brother wasn't, but her godparents took me and my brother in as their godchildren as well. But anyways, I love them. They taught me so much. We was mostly over there, especially for the summertime. Mom got rid of us. But they taught me so much, about how to sit at a table, what it's like to go to elegant restaurants and put the napkin on your lap, and how to cut. That's my first time ever learning how to use a knife and a fork. I was young. How, we had to eat everything on our plate before we even thought about lifting up a cup to even drink it. And even if we weren't going anywhere, my godmom always, you gonna make that bed up and you gonna get your tail out the bed and you gonna put some clothes on as though you going somewhere, even though we weren't going nowhere. Like, she instilled that stuff in us. And we were so young, like young. I was young. Cause I was always I pop off. I've always been a pop off person. Lillian Mack check me. Bloop. Mm-mm. That holly yellow lady come around that corner with them switches, honey. And back then I was real skinny and thin. I would jump so I'd be in the air jumping. Do you hear me? She be tearing them legs up. But those moments, not to get off topic, but those moments, it just, I think about those moments and where I'm at now, and just people in general, just how I know certain situations, how I'm seeing my children, it really, 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 really hurts, that, I took some things for granted that I wish I didn't take for granted, and then we trying to raise this new generation children, because my kids are in that generation 2000 baby, these new millennium chaps, and try to give them instruction and guidance and understanding on how life this thing is, and they don't even take heed to what the adults are saying. They're not even listening. I take it back. They hear us, but they're not listening, because the world has painted that picture, or things in the world has painted the picture to where it really don't matter. And that's not even the case. Like, we have an identity crisis, and I'm not talking about homosexuals or lesbians. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about identity crisis as far as you are being a follower. Oh, so they do what I do it. Like monkey see, monkey do type of situation. Like, no one want to be different. Being different is like crazy now. And I'm like, being different was always good. When I was growing up, you didn't want to fit in with the crowd because you a follower. What's up being, you wanted to be a leader. You wanted to lead. You wanted people to follow you. You didn't want to follow other people. But now following is the new cool. Like, oh, they wearing afros, I'm gonna wear afro. Or they permanent hair, I'm gonna wear permanent. Like, just they wearing blue shirts, I'm gonna wear a blue shirt. Like, what's so wrong with being original? I really, really want to understand that. What's so wrong with being original? Your own you. You can only do you great than someone else. I can only be Angel. I can't be nobody else but me. I don't know how to be nobody else but me. Okay? When I be me, I'm functioning in my full potential because I'm being me. I'm great at being me. Why? Because that's how God designed me, to be me. He didn't design me to try to act like everybody else in the world. You know what I'm saying? No. He didn't design none of us like that. He designed you. If you're unique, you can't do something the next person do it. That's cool. Learn how to do it. And if you can't, that's still cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy how life is. It's crazy how things are set up. It's crazy how we take the small things for granted. It's crazy how, we want life to be, we had, so much ambition about what we wanted and how we wanted to get there and when we got there and how things are going to be. I'm talking about the overall experience in living, and back to what I was saying about that God friend, he was like, oh, all we gotta do is survive. I don't think God ever intended for us just to survive. Why would he create all of this goodness for me to just survive? He created all this goodness so that I can live, not survive. That's survival mode. A corner mentality. I don't know. I don't get that. But like I said, I don't think like some people. I don't think that I was made just to survive. And even if I wasn't a believer, because I know some atheists out there. I know a lot of people that does not believe whatever, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? For them, that's cool for them. My thing is this: even in that situation, you was put here just to survive. Like, what sense does that have? Oh, I was just made just to struggle. People gonna kill. People will commit suicide all the time. Might as well go, might as well die. What's the point of living if I'm here to struggle for the rest of my life? To live in poverty for the rest of my life, to not have no voice, to have no significance in the world. Like, what? Kill yourself. That don't even make sense. That don't make sense to me. I know that I was put here to live. And that means enjoy the good of the land, live. You know, reap, sow, give, receive, live. You know, abundance, health, mentally, physically, spiritually, all that, live, enjoy it. You only get one life. Everybody say that. But what do we really do with the one life? Because I ask myself this. I talk to myself. And yes, I answer me. So for those like, she talks, I talk to myself and I answer myself. So if you want to call me crazy, that's fine. I'd rather talk to me than talk to a shrink. Okay? I'm going to tell myself the truth when someone else can actually lie to me. I know me. They might not know me. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not going to drag this video long, this vlog long. I just really was feeling some type of way about the job and how they were trying to play me. But now, y'all heard the phone conversation. Everything is squared away. I have a relief in the morning, so I will be back at 7 to 7 at the bank at PNC. God is good. But yeah, that just bothered me. That had bothered me. And then just thinking about life in general. So I just wanted to put that out there. I hope I wasn't rambling. And if I was, please forgive me. I have so much to say about so many different topics. It's really, 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 really crazy. You know what I'm saying? It really, really is, especially for the single mothers and also the single fathers, are just, people, raising your children on your own, trying to do it the right way, and you seem like there's no hope. And there's hope at the end of the tunnel. Even though I have not seen the light yet, faith, you got to work it. It doesn't just work. You just don't have faith. You have to work the faith. So I'm learning. To this day, I'm learning. And I was raised in the church. So I'm still learning how to work that faith thing, and it's been tried this year, honey. It's been tried. It's been tried over the last 6-7 years. It's been tried. I've been tried and still yet being tried. It doesn't stop. That's why it's called the press. And I'm yet pressing. That's all I can do. I'm been a fighter. I'm naturally a fighter. So I'm going to fight spiritually as well. It's definitely been impressed. But yeah, I'm not going to continue, like I said, ramble. But I do want you guys to go ahead and like, comment how you feel, view my other videos, like, comment, give me your perspective, whether it's good or bad, what I need to critique. Subscribe. Excuse me. Subscribe. Please subscribe. I would genuinely appreciate it. My laptop keep cutting off. I don't know what's going on. I would genuinely appreciate it if you guys do that, because I really want some feedback. I want to know what you guys thinking. I want to know what's on your mind. I want to know what you guys want to know from me, my children, all that good stuff. I'm working on the, like I said, I'm working on getting the camera, but I'm on a budget. I ain't balling. I have to, work to make sure I have extra money to do extra stuff. And normally every time, like this time, I worked, I got paid, and I wanted to do some things for myself, and I can't. Why? Because I'm a mother and I have children. And guess what? They need stuff. I signed 4 permission slips to go to something camp or something going on, and they $5 for that, $2 for that, $5 for that, $10 for that, $3 for that. So I'm wet. Nothing for mommy, which is cool. I'm not complaining, which is cool. I get it. We gotta raise them, get them grown, get them out so they can conquer the world, do what we didn't do. Well, I should say my children need to do what I didn't do. Get a passport, roam the world is huge. Get out there and explore. Like, go for it. Like, try new food. Just go. New cultures. Just get out there and just do it, you know, just go, you know. Um, and that's what I want for my children, you know. But I'm still figuring this thing parenting out. I'm in the phase of the teenagers. Then I'm gonna be in the phase of the parenting an adult. Because parenting don't stop just because they grown. Now you're just parenting an adult. That's all it is. Love you guys. Again, like, subscribe, and comment. And hopefully we meet again, probably this evening. I'm trying to do a video with the children. If I'm not too tired, if I get some sleep in and I'm real rested and they don't get on my nerves. If not, you're just gonna see me again. Love you guys.